Hey, that's not rubbish.
What's up? It's Lexi, a big upcycled fashion groupie, and today's going to be a fun and enlightening episode, I think. We're going to rave over upcycled festival wear and explore the Shein rebrand drama collaborations these past few months. Is there a possibility Shein could become eco-ethical or conscious in any way? I'm up for it, but today we have Alexandria from The Modern Alien.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here.
You love the outfit, and I love your backgrounds. It's like a galaxy, very trippy vibes.
Yeah, it's almost like a trippy desert, and because I'm from Arizona, it like works perfectly for being an alien in Arizona.
That's so perfect. And here I am
Yeah.
in my basement, and there's a bunch of garbage all around. And my podcast is about things not being garbage. So it's just so on brand for the two of us.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Well, okay, you know the drill. First up, we'll get some good news in to cure some climate anxiety, or what I like to call the environmental doomies or eco doomies. I feel like that's cool too. But okay, thanks to Eco News for this information. But mushroom surfing is officially in, but like, wait, not like the tripping stack in the ocean. Like, that's a terrible idea. But like, mushrooms have become a sustainable material alternative to make surfboards.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, don't tell the surfers. Well, you can tell them about the boards because they should get one. But the materials surfboards are made of actually degrade and actually hurt the marine life because they have like petrochemicals, and then they'll break down, and the plastic will just kind of dissolve into the ocean and hurt the sea turtles and the coral, etc. But yeah, I bet that would make them sad because I bet they love the sea. They just gotta, shred some gnar. It just, yeah. So finally, Steve Davies, a surfer and design student, created mushroom surfboards out of mycelia. Mycelia is the mushroom strain. I don't know what to call it,
That's
but
so cool.
yeah.
People really get really creative.
Oh,
Like when you think about like upcycling, you have to be like pushing the boundaries. So that's so cool.
I know. And you also kind of like, you can also like take the function out of the item, like the function we're like used to knowing, but also you can like work
Yeah.
along with the function. Like this Steve guy with the surfboards, he's created like a natural mold of the surfboard, and then he like just lets the mushroom grow on the board, like doing what it knows best, just growing. So it kind of like complements the natural aspect of it. But then yeah, he just coats it in waterproof material. So you're right. It's so cool. That's why we're here, because I just love it so much.
Yeah, and the way people's minds work, like how did you were like, oh yeah, let's grow a mushroom into like a surfboard. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, like why not? We got other
Yeah.
things to do, but let's just do that instead.
Yeah. And then here you are making a whole business out of it too. Like that's just a bonus.
Yeah, and sharing it with people and solving a problem. Because I mean, the surfers know that it's a problem. They just like don't know what to do
There's no
about it.
other options.
Right. So now they can do it guilt-free. So yeah. I mean, it's what you're doing too. Like, people want to shop, people want to like look super hot at the festival because it's so fun the way people dress at festivals, but you're helping them do it guilt-free. Yeah, I love the fluffy kimonos that you make.
Yeah, I love adding fringe and fur and just random alien aspects to things. Like, because my favorite part about raving is dressing up and
Oh
trading
yeah.
candles.
Oh my God,
So
it's the best part. It's hands down the glitter.
yeah, I'm like, this is the one time I could be out of my comfort zone and just be weird, and no one's gonna judge me because we're all weird and out of our comfort zones, you know?
Yeah. No, I love festivals. I love concerts, all that. But I mean, who doesn't? Like, the atmosphere is so fun.
Right.
People are so nice. You get to dress up so cool. And I've actually seen a lot of like really cool upcycled or like handmade festival looks this season, which yeah, we'll talk about. But yeah, I like the kimonos, I like the bras. But I mean, you're in Arizona. It's gotta be so hot this festival season and every festival season. How does that work for you guys?
We don't normally have festivals in the summer, opposite of the rest of the world, essentially.
Yeah, like
Because a
China.
lot of like, yeah, because a lot of like the bigger raves and festivals happen in the summer. Because one, everyone's off, but then they're happening in like California or Oregon or Washington, so like those
Yeah.
places are a lot cooler than it is here. But in the winter, we do get our bigger festivals
What
like
are the bigger festivals?
Gold Rush and Decadence and Phoenix Lights.
Wait, Decadence. I like that. Decadence.
Yeah, that's a New Year's rave, actually. Yeah.
Wait, that's so sick. New Year's at a rave. That's so sick. I like that.
Yeah.
And it's not even cold.
Yeah. I did my first like big event last year in December, and it was Decadence, actually.
That's
And
so cool.
it was the best. I closed my shop for like midnight just so I can go hear the big drop at the festival. So much fun.
Wait, so you actually sell at raves and festivals?
Yes, I do.
Wow, that's really cool. Well, what's your favorite festival?
I've only done Arizona. So I am not, my goal is to be at EDC. And then Electric Forest is my second one that I really want to go
Oh my
to.
God, that's in Michigan. I went to like, I don't know if you know like Movement or
Yeah, actually, I have heard of that.
yeah, Movement was a lot of fun. It was probably one of like the best nights of my life, honestly. Great night. Um, and then Lollapalooza, which is more of like a pop or like rock one, but that one's in Chicago, and that's like where everyone from my area would go when we were younger, and you would like get a group and you split like a hotel room, and it was just like really doable. Fun memories, like trying to like sneak stuff into the festival or like trying to figure out like if Vaseline will get the glitter like all over you and like stay. Oh my God, I love festival season. Like best memories, hands down. Yeah.
I would have to agree. My friends actually now don't listen to EDM and are
Oh,
not ravers. but but I did for my birthday this year. I went to like a warehouse rave. It's like a smaller underground event, and I took one of my non-raver friends, and she literally had the best time of her life.
oh my God, I was gonna say how'd she take it?
See, this is what it is about. Like, you guys just think it's all drugs and like party, and I was like, it's a community.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
people are so nice and they take care of one another, and it's a great place. And I tell people that all the time. If you've never been to a rave, go to at least one and you'll probably fall in love. But
Honestly, it's kind of addicting. And oh my God, you're so right because I'm just thinking about this now because it just happened to somebody that I know. But I feel like when someone gets really into raving, it's like, like they're the kind of like regular schmegular and they go to their first rave and like their whole personality changes. Like
yes.
they just start wearing like rave wear like on the daily, like they got like makeup and like yeah, it just like a total like conversion. So it's like it's
Yeah.
addicting. Yeah, raves and the people are just so nice at them. Like if you're lightheaded, like here's a water, chug it. Like I love your outfit. Here's some glitter,
Yeah.
a fucking glow stick. Like
If you want your confidence built up, go to a rave in your most scandalous outfit.
naked. I love the nakedness.
Yes. I'm like, yes, go you. I cheer on every person and compliment outfits left and right. I love it.
You
It's
do
my
look like
favorite thing.
the nice girl at the rave. Like the one of but like you look like the one that'd be like, I love that fucking boa. Like you look badass, like get it queen, like all that stuff.
That is me, 100%. You know what's funny too is I used to rave in high school, and my family, like back when like don't stay in was a thing and you had to like call a number the day of the rave to get the address
That
at
sounds
like a
lovely.
warehouse. I'm like, I look back now, I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, why did I ever think like that was safe? Like,
I like it.
here
I like
I am
how it's
going to a
dangerous.
random place that no one else knows where it is, but like this small group of people does. Is so weird. Yeah, now raving so mainstream, and it's cool to like be living in that transition a little bit. Cause like I used to get a lot of crap. People like, you go to raves, you're a drug addict. And I'm like, it's not even like that. I love techno music and I've always loved techno music. And I love randomly dancing. I don't know how to dance, but I don't know. It's cool to like, now it's more, you're more likely to find ravers just walking the street. Like you can point them out.
No,
Pretty
you can
much.
totally point out a raver.
Yeah.
You can, but no, I feel like when I like see a raver in the wild, like I feel like it's more of like a green flag than a red flag. Like I'm not like, oh, like you're like a drug addict, like a crack addict. I'm more like,
Well, yeah.
I feel like they're really like spiritual and like really nice and friendly and like really open-minded. I mean, they've seen it all, so it's like, yeah, no,
Spending
I
at raves, I've seen it all too.
I love the festival culture. It's like the only place you can be like naked and shiny, but also wear like a scarf or hat or gloves. Like it's like so fun and confusing. But
It's funny to also see like the different genre styles because you could tell who's into what type of music based on how they dress.
I'm not there. I'm not even close to there yet. But get into that. What do you
So like bass heads
mean?
dress very like scandalous. Like they're in a thong and chains and long braids and sheer clothes and maybe just pasties.
Love it.
And then like I feel like psytrance is more like I guess wooks where they're in like the hippie harem pants with
Okay.
their some with pashminas too.
I picture
And then
that.
just like t-shirts. And then you have probably trans people who are more like fantasy and like dressing up like character type stuff.
Ooh,
Like
like
fairy, like I don't know how to explain it.
I'd want to be them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just like I have to move when I say it because they just like vibe. You know, like you just see them and you're just like, dang, that is a whole vibe.
No, I want what you're on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'd wear some wings or some shit like that. That's cool. What else is there?
That's all I got for that.
Oh, it's like high school where you got like the jocks and you got like the
No,
nerds. It's like,
well, I guess you can get into like people who it is their first time raving and they're just wearing regular clothes. And then by the end of the night, they're carrying their shirt, their pants have become just boxers, like for men specifically.
yeah.
And I'm like, you've embraced the rave culture.
No, so
Welcome.
you're gonna be a different bitch tomorrow. Like those are the ones
Yeah,
that
like
yeah.
you are never wearing normal clothes ever again.
What's like your like rave genre? What are your how would you describe yourself?
I am in between a bass head and a house head. So
Oh,
like I like to like groove and vibe, but like I like on occasion to headbang and just be a little more edgy and crazy,
me too,
but not
girl.
all the time.
Yeah, no, that's perfect balance.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like in between.
Okay. And what does that entail clothing wise?
More like bright colors
Okay, cool.
and like bell bottoms and like bralettes.
Ooh, I love a good set.
Being a fashion designer, if you see me on the streets, I don't normally dress like this.
Boring.
I wear a t-shirt and my biker shorts, and then I'll wear like a crazy bucket hat or something. But yeah, I don't normally like dress like this, but I love dressing up. So anytime I go out, I'm in something like this.
That's so fun. It's like your Ray wears almost like your alter ego. Like I think
Oh,
you become like a
100%.
Ray. So you have like a name. I would totally name my alter ego.
So my rave name is actually Dimples because of my dimples, and I seem to like smile the whole night. So like everyone calls me that. But now I think I'm known as the alien lady because I'm always wearing like green and alien stuff.
I feel like
So
Dimples is a cute name for an alien. Like if I had an alien pet, I would name him Dimples. But that's
that's
a
so
cute name for
true.
you.
Thanks.
I love it. I could never pick my rave name right now because I would really want to think about that. So I'll get back to you. But I feel like
Well, the rule is someone is supposed to give you a rave name. Like, and then that's how like the whole rave family starts. So the person who names you is essentially like your rave mom, and it like passes down and you like create like a family.
what would my rave name be?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
I know I have to.
All right, let me think. I need to get to know your personality a little bit better.
Okay, I'll
I
ask you again at the end of the episode.
think. Okay.
Okay, that's
Sounds
perfect.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. Oh,
Yeah, and
sorry.
then you can introduce yourself as that, and then you could just start like literally just create your whole character from there.
I want to wear those hats, like the pilot hat, like where it's like a big cap.
Yeah, those like captain hats.
Yeah, a
Isn't that what they're
captain
called?
hat.
Yeah. It's so funny because I actually have one that I'm working on right now.
Yeah, dig deeper. So you use fully pre-used materials, or I mean, mostly. You
Yeah.
don't not fully, but like mostly.
I would say about 90% of the
Yeah.
stuff that I make is something that was something else.
Yeah.
I use a lot of bed sheets, and curtains.
Yeah, we talked about that
And
last episode, 2 episodes ago. But yeah.
I know I just watched that and I was like, yes, she gets it. Because I had the same exact thought. I'm like, why can't I use this sheet as fabric? It's literally the same as getting a roll of fabric cut.
That's what I'm
But you get
saying.
cooler patterns with sheets. Yeah. People don't, it's so funny. This is actually made from a curtain, like a sheer curtain. And then I printed this on.
Dude, brilliant. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you can like easily work upcycling into like everyday things because like anyone can do that. Like if you're starting a company and you have like a screen printing and like you just want to do your designs, just thrift the shirts and you can just screen print on those. So yeah, we can get that. But I mean, I feel like that's really impressive that you can source like secondhand like rave materials because it's like a lot of like bright colors, like the holographics and spandex materials. Like spandex has got to be like pretty hard to come across. Like where do you source them? You just thrift everything?
Mostly leggings.
Wait, that's so smart because so many leggings are just made so bad and the materials.
Yes. Yeah, I for a size small, I can utilize the whole pair of leggings into a top and bottoms and maybe a matching bucket hat.
I mean, what more does a girl need?
Yeah, I know girls love like outfits.
Uh-huh.
Just because it makes picking out your whole outfit a lot easier. Yeah, and you just have to accessorize at that point. You don't have to figure out the top and bottom. So I've been making outfits out of like leggings.
That's really nice. That's actually so genius. Yeah, think outside the box, but also don't think that outside the box because leggings, if you want spandex, just think of what has spandex that is already exists.
Yeah, or like dresses, a lot of like bodycon dresses.
There you go. So like what's like your goal with Modern Alien? What do you hope to accomplish? I mean, you're already selling at raves, you have collaborations, you have your own shop, people are asking for merch.
I think I'm in a transition of wanting to do fashion shows, to be honest, and be like a bigger named fashion designer. But still keeping it upcycling.
Wait, so you are going to be at New York Fashion Week. How do you get
Yeah.
invited to that? Like, you're making some good connections out here. Yeah.
Instagram, to be honest, I just post as if like people on Instagram are my friends. And I'm like, look at what I'm doing today. And then like, and then I'll like post selfies, like this is what I'm doing and just like every day. But I also post my clothes
Uh-huh.
too and like what I'm doing on the side, and I got noticed by Shein actually. And they asked me to design for them. And then after my first collection dropped with Shein, this person who hosts fashion shows reached out, and I was like, there's no way this is real. Like, this is not how people do business. And then I called, and it was 100% real. And I was like, what if we get there and it's just like not real? And my mom's like, it's real. We're here in California. Like, it's real. And I'm like, I don't know. It just seems too good to be true. And then, it's just after I actually closed the show. So I was the finale, and I had all my models wear green lipstick, even the males. And they either had these on, or I have this like tinfoil beanie hat that I made, like to represent like this tinfoil like conspiracy theories hats. And then from there she was like, hey, we're doing swimwear in swimwear fashion show in Miami, you should come. I didn't go to that one because I didn't have enough time to plan, but then she also invited me to New York, and then the next step would be Paris. And like it's crazy. And what she says is, she's like, you're different and you're bringing upcycling to light, essentially, because everyone who upcycles is so not in the spotlight of like high fashion. And so I think now I'm ready to take my brand to that level.
I can't believe you said the S word, like the Shein. Oh my God.
I know I get a lot of crap because it is a fast fashion, but they really are making an effort to change.
Let's dig deeper into the Shein collaboration, because I mean, it does kind of sound like you're dancing like with the devil a little bit, because obviously Shein is who they are. But I mean, it's always, I feel like hearing about like Shein's claims to be more like eco-conscious and collaborate with upcyclers and influencers with the heat of like the Shein lawsuit and like the failed PR stunt and just like all that stuff this month. It'll really be interesting to hear your experience and like how they've been treating you and their initiatives, because you probably know better than we do. I'm all ears. Like, I'm rooting for Shein in the end of the day. I think we all need to be. So I think when Shein first, this is just my opinion, I think when Shein first started out, they didn't expect to get as big as they did, especially with how quickly they seemed to like grow. You know what I mean? So I think like when you grow quickly, you don't have enough time to catch up and like be perfect like the world wants you to, and you're also under a lot more scrutiny. But with all that being said, they are actually making changes, because I did get invited to be a designer for their, it's called EvoluSHEIN. It's so funny.
And cute. It's like recycled material, or like material from like dead stock. So I pretty much get to design whatever I want, and then we have like a catalog of fabric, and then it gives you like how much of that fabric's recycled or where this fabric came from and things like that. So
how did this begin? How did they find you? How did they reach out? How did you feel?
They found me on Instagram, and it's one of those things that I was like, Shein has designers. I heard all this shit where they take designers' designs and claim it as their own, because I know that was originally like their biggest issue like a few years ago. But so I was like, no, this is not real. And then I had a phone call, and then I was like, I don't know, it could be a scammer if they ask for money. And no one asked for money, and they just gave me like the website, and they're like, your clothes are really unique, and I think you would be a great asset to Shein. And so here I am 2 years later, a year later, still designing.
It first happened, were you kind of like hesitant to work with them, or like why did you decide to do it? And
well, I was very hesitant, like I said, but I decided to work with them because how often do you get the opportunity to design for a big company like that?
Yeah.
Not very. So the worst that can happen is you try it and then it doesn't work out.
Right.
And then you're back to where you started. Imagine the opportunities you can get. And it's been a blessing for me. I know not a lot of other designers may have that same experience, or people who haven't had bad experience with Shein don't have the same experience, but I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's situation's different, you know?
Yeah. So like how does it work? Like in terms of like inventory shipping, it sounds like they send you a catalog of fabrics and then you pick out what fabric you want them to make your designs out of, and then they handle like the manufacturing and the shipping and all that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and customer service and everything. So pretty much I get my own little it's the program is called Shein X Designers.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean people can apply to go be designers and stuff. But so you get to either choose something that they already have in their catalog and then you could just design like fabrics.
Okay.
Or they give you like a model. They have a normal size and a plus size, and
Okay.
you just design your clothes on there, and then you can pick your fabrics, you pick your colors, you pick how you want it to fit, and then and this is all done like online.
Yeah.
So there's no like going in and feeling fabric. So I've had to become really knowledgeable
Yeah.
about fabrics and like what kind of fabrics I want. But yeah, so it's all done online and then you just submit it and then you text through like WhatsApp and then you get paid monthly based on your sales.
Well, that's a fun it sounds like really easy. Because the prices are still really low. Like they're like 18, like you have two designs on there. I think one's 1850, the other one's like 1450. How are they keeping the prices so low? Because I mean, you have to assume that like that's gotta mean that no one's spending more than an hour on
Yeah,
experiment.
so they from what I understand
Yeah.
is they only make 100 pieces of what you designed. So they're really trying to like reduce like all of that wasted material that doesn't get bought. And then and so like when it is higher price is usually like when it first comes out because it's brand new. And
Mhm.
then as the stock gets lower and it's maybe not doing so well, then like that's where they'll get those discounts because they just need to get it out. But like if you think about it, Shein has like thousands upon thousands of items. So they don't even have to make that much on like one item because they're selling so much across the platform that they're making money off of quantity and not like single items, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I do hear you. I mean, I like what I'm hearing. Like I do like the initiatives. Like I like how I guess they're sourcing recycled fabrics and they're giving you guys this platform to other opportunities. And it sounds like they're making an initiative. But I mean, I guess I'm only a little cynical because of their reputation, and they kind of seem like a company that will say what they need to say or do what they got to do to kind of like pass like the vibe check. I don't know. So like I guess just like how do you feel, how do you know what they're saying is true? Since
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I get my collection. So
Mhm.
like I get a gift card to purchase my collection.
Okay.
And so if there's anything wrong with it, because it's a really long process, like I'm launching in September and I've been
Okay.
working on my launch since December. So it's like a really long process and I'm constantly getting messages and pictures and so like they really are living what they're saying. Like it's
Yeah.
not this like from my experience.
No,
Like
I like to hear that it's taking so long because I mean that is kind of slow fashion, very slow, fast
yeah,
fashion, very
like
slow
it's not
fashion.
just like oh you designed it and it's going to be out in 2 weeks type thing. Like no. And they actually haven't even talked about their EvoluSHEIN launch yet at all. So I think the fact that they're making changes in the back end first
Yeah.
before announcing it to the public kind of proves like you really are trying to change.
I'm always gonna be a little cynical of Shein. Like I'm wondering maybe if it's because of the timing of like where they're at right now
Everything's
in the heat.
happening. Yeah.
So, but like, I mean, take your time with the Shein, girl. Like, no rush. Do it right. But I guess
Yeah.
you know much about this initiative, EvoluSHEIN, like how many upcyclers there are, what it's gonna look like.
Um, as far as like designers, I don't think a lot of designers were interested, to be honest, in this collection.
Mhm.
But I think it's more of lack of knowledge.
No, that's why I'm here because like my goal with That's Not Rubbish is to bring upcycled fashion mainstream. And I guess when I think of mainstream, I think of like what people are wearing, what they're gifting, where they're shopping. And fast fashion giants such as Shein, they kind of mold and mirror the trends. They promote everywhere with everyone, all that. So I mean like it's but there's like gotten to the point where there's like a lot of greenwashing and like despite the blatant like contributions to the environmental downfall, um, these initiatives are kind of just confusing and upset people. But I guess what you're saying is she is trying to collaborate with these upcyclers, but they're not interested. How do you think upcycled fashion is going to become mainstream or trendy if fast fashion brands who have the audience and the status don't collaborate with the upcycle designers? Like, how can this relationship between fast fashion and slow fashion exist?
Uh, well, I think like it would be best if we can like figure out how to collaborate, to be honest, because I mean, fast fashion is like the number one selling like clothing right
Yeah.
now,
Mhm.
So I think for like the sake of us upcyclers needing a platform, I think it's best to collab with like fast fashion
Yeah.
companies just to like educate people mostly. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think people realize how cool of outfits you can get from upcycling.
Mhm.
Like the last girl that you had who was making those dresses were fucking cool. I
Right?
was like, I
Yeah.
don't wear stuff like that, but I would buy a dress like that just to have like a different like style and add
Yeah.
it to my wardrobe, And I think there has to be a better platform for that, um, where we don't get as much pushback, you know what I mean, from
Right.
people, because yeah, people are like, oh, I want to save the environment, but then they don't want to pay our cost because we are slow fashion and it does take our time to add all of these pieces to it. So yeah, it is a little bit more expensive, but look at what you're supporting on top of that.
Yeah.
I think that's where the division mostly is like a financial and price point more than like styles, if that makes sense.
I hear you. That's why it's optimistic that Shein is like that. When I looked at your like designs on Shein, I saw they were still so cheap, just like all of other Shein's things. So it's cool that like maybe they are finding ways to make it more accessible because I'll say it
Yeah.
every episode, accessibility is key, and that's why Shein is where they are now. But
Yeah, it's still a fight, obviously,
yeah.
to get that platform, but I think just doing our part.
And I'm interested to see what like they do promotional wise with it. And if like they're gonna take like, could you imagine if you woke up one day and she became like the upcycler hub for like all upcycled garments? Like that would actually be like the biggest like mindfuck ever. Like, but
It
I'm here
it
for
would
it.
actually be really cool because I was just talking to the marketing coordinator for Shein, and I was telling her that I was on this podcast, and I was like asking, what can I talk about EvoluSHEIN, because you're not, because you guys haven't announced it yet, but I'm excited for it and it's launching soon. And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah. And then I was telling her, like, it's really cool that they're like making this change and that there's a lot more people who would be willing to design and be a part of Shein. And
Uh-huh.
so maybe there's something in the works there.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, you're getting excited. I really am like hoping that this is true. And I'm really excited. Do you know like when it's starting, like the launch and anything? Or anything else that you can tell us about it?
I know that my collection launches in September.
Okay.
So sometimes it's sooner. It just depends on like when everything's actually ready.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, most of the designs for that EvoluSHEIN is launching in September.
Yeah. I definitely think it will take time because again, like with their reputation versus like what they say, I feel like it takes time to see like if it's lining up on the
No, yeah.
if it's like authentic. But I mean, yeah, I guess just to recap, let's dive into the Shein shit this last few months or so. Yeah, their poor PR team has been putting in extra hours. I just know it.
Yeah, they're running.
They're
running.
burnt and they're sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard of like the lawsuit and the influencer like stunt?
So I have
Yeah.
this one friend. I don't know if it's jealousy because I designed for Shein or if she's just trying to inform me. But yes, she makes sure that I am up to date on every single thing that Shein is doing. So yes.
Honestly,
Constant
it's
messages.
pretty big. I feel like everyone like heard about it. But like and honestly, I feel like more stuff might come out. I feel like it could be kind of like have that momentum because well, they had the one lawsuit, but then they have another one that just came out like yesterday. Like I think like a fellow Chinese retailer called like Temu is suing them for bullying under like antitrust laws. But then like the bigger one, just for listeners, Shein is being sued by plaintiffs who claim the online retailer Shein, engaged in copyright infringement and racketeering. Racketeering is basically like just dishonest, fraudulent business dealings. So yeah, three independent designers, three of many, Krista Perry, Larissa Martinez, and Jay Barron. They filed a lawsuit like alleging that like Shein copied like their exact designs, which violates the RICO Act, the Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organization Act. Yeah, you can't really go around stealing people's designs, but I mean that's not news to anyone. Unlike most like brands or like designers, Shein has a completely different business model that involves like an algorithm and it's technology based and it's about searching the internet and seeing like trends people are making and consistently like churning them out onto the site. So yeah, like people aren't designing Shein employees aren't designing the trends, they're getting them from other people. So I feel like this was just a long time coming because I mean like damn, like that's a huge loss of profit. And I mean, for small businesses,
no,
you lose a lot of
no, it is. And I mean, I hope that those designers do, like, if it truly was stolen from them, then I do hope that they get that rectified. But with us being in a digital age or digital world, anything you post online is going to be copied in some way, shape, or form, unfortunately. And that's for artists, that's for designers, that's for anyone who makes anything ever. So it's like it's a hard topic to like talk about because you never want a big corporation to get richer from your ideas and hard work and things like that, but like I said, I think Shein kind of grew too fast, and then that's I think maybe where all of that might have come from.
Well, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like they revolve their whole business model and their aim is to kind of steal designs and profit off of them. Like I feel like it wasn't just like a small business individual like you that started a brand. They're like, oh my God, I'm doing so great. Like maybe I should cut some corners, and like it kind of happened on accident. Like I feel like their whole aim was to be the fast fashion giant they've become, and they chose the business model to get them there.
Yeah, I mean, I
Unfortunately,
can see that, but from my experience, I had to change my whole logo when I first started designing for Shein because I used to have a UFO, and the UFO was used in some artists' artwork, and I couldn't prove that this was my original like design.
Yeah.
So I couldn't use it. And same with like patterns and stuff. You can't use patterns that are like, you have to hand make everything that you do. So that's why it's like hard for me personally to believe that they would steal designs from people. You know what I mean? There's probably like similarities, but I can only speak for me. Like I can't
I get that.
Yeah, and I can't speak for those designers who may or may not have gotten their stuff stolen, but
yeah. Hey, maybe like this, maybe them like double checking your logo and like the fabrics and stuff, maybe that is their attempt
way of rectifying it.
Yeah. And maybe like
could
this
be.
whole collaboration could be because instead of just taking designs from designers, it's fair that they might not want to pay designers to design for them and have like Shein designs, but it's cool that they're like at least maybe like putting it under the artist's name or like giving them a profit and giving them a platform
Or credit
instead of just taking it. Yeah. So I mean, fingers crossed.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah. I really do hope that it gets rectified, because I did see some of the designs that they did, and the originals were definitely way better than what Shein could have produced, but Shein is also a lot cheaper. Yeah, I know.
No, I mean, have you ever gotten
the world
copied? Like that's gotta suck. Like it's gotta hurt.
When I was doing t-shirts, I did. I got those stolen a lot, and I think that's kind of like what deterred me from wanting to keep doing it. But now, I mean, if you copy me, everyone knows that you copied me. Like my stuff is like really different, and because all the pieces that I make are one of a kind, like you're just blatantly copying me at that point, you know.
I mean, the designs are like so blatant. Like if you see like the original designer and like the Sheins, it's like, dude, like they're only copying them because they know that the businesses are so small that they can't really do anything. So power to them. But I mean, as far as like legal protection with EvoluSHEIN and your collaboration with Shein, do you feel like pretty comfortable about it? Like, have they been protecting you and all of that?
I would say so. So like essentially I'm just signing a contract that just says like I'm designing specifically for Shein.
Okay.
And like those designs they have rights to. That's pretty much what it like, you sign the contract stating that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The problem with this lawsuit that it hasn't happened sooner is because Shein is just divided up. It's so decentralized. There's not like one person you can sue. So that's kind of been like why I think this took so long. So I mean, like when you hear these like lawsuits and stuff, like just like girl on girl, like aren't you just kind of like, like that's my partner? Like
no, I 100% am, because like I said, I do get a lot of crap for being a Shein designer, and I advertise it on my website. Like it's on my homepage.
Yeah, you're not hiding anything.
Like I don't want, cancel culture strong, okay? And I have a mouth on me, and having a business, I'm always walking a line. And so I just would rather not put myself in a situation where people are like, she's not really upcycling, she designs for Shein. So I just put everything out there. But I think I lost my train of thought.
But yeah, I hope the other designers get the recognition they deserve, and I hope this doesn't happen to you, and I hope for the best that Shein is changing. The only reason I'm so cynical is because of the reputation, and especially given the last, like the second little scandal they were in with which was actually hilarious. I was kind of cracking up because I'm so glad everyone like saw like through the influencer like campaign. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I saw it on Snapchat, and I was just like,
yeah, I just hope it's not, like, I hope this is real is what I'm saying. Like I hope it's not just like, oh, like what's the problem, you want me to use pre-selected materials, like I'll do that. Because I mean, when I saw, quick recap, like listeners, Shein's top dogs administrator invited a group of Shein influencers, people with many followers, getting paid to wear their things and tell people to buy their things. They were flown out to China, free vacation, and kind of waltzed around the super fancy warehouse with like super shiny floors that you could just lick off of. Like, it's just to kind of prove that their working conditions aren't bad. They have these adult employees, factory workers, or might have probably been paid to be there. Yeah, so they just got all this content of like influencers walking around and like hyping them up and just claiming about how like real it was. Like, it was so unreal. Like, I don't think anyone who watched it thought it was.
It was very I'm probably gonna get crap for this because I know Shein's gonna be watching.
I feel like we've been hyping them up.
but
I
it
actually
was-
thought we were gonna trash them more. I feel like we've done good. I feel like it's almost a promo, and I'm scared that I'm gonna get canceled by
You will. I guarantee you'll get shit. But I think it's good to like talk about it because I think it did seem really fake to me.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, and some of my favorite influencers that I watch on a daily basis went to.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, it discredited them a little bit because there was a couple of plus size, because obviously I'm
Danny,
plus size.
you're talking about Danny. I know exactly who
Yes,
you're
and I was like,
sounded
come
terrible.
on. Yes, I was like, man, I loved your stuff and I trusted you with the plus size like outfit checks, and now I'm like, I view her like content a little bit different because I'm like, I feel like you sold out a little bit because please put this in your bloopers.
I have
100%, because like, whose cat just does that?
Oh my god, listeners, this cat just jumped onto Alexandria's fucking galaxy
My backdrop
tapestry and knocked it down completely. That's so perfect.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a wrap. No,
that was Shein's campaign, literally.
Yeah. No, but I feel like, you know, it was just like, come on.
No, she got it bad. It was like they were like, every time she talked, it looked like they were like waving a little dollar bill up behind the camera, like, say this is real. Say this is
I know, and she's always been, I thought, like the realist, like plus size, like fashion guru for me for the longest time. And so yeah, I was a little disappointed.
Like,
yeah, and I think like being like in collaboration with them, you know, I actually considered not doing it anymore until they brought up the Shein Evolution.
It's hard to navigate the whole selling your soul thing.
Well, yeah, because
you want to grow as like an upcycler, as a designer. Like, you want to be able to make a profit and a living off of this, and you should be making more money than they are. But it's hard to know because I feel like the morals behind like the sustainable circular fashion industry is to like not promote or encourage consumption and like buying a lot of stuff. But like, that's what you need to like make money. You need to make sales. You need to grow and expand. And so, yeah, it's got to be tough navigating that.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Because I think what I stick to is, this is my brand that I created. So I should be allowed to say my opinion. And it sucks that cancel culture kind of ruined that, because now you do have people who like fake content and stuff like that. And it's like, is it because you're fearful that you're going to get canceled if you tell the truth? Like
this, like if Shein were to literally become, with all the eyes on them, with everything, the power that they have, if they were to actually become like a sustainable brand, like, I know it sounds crazy, but if they were to do it, like, we can't just jump and pounce on the guinea pigs like you, like the designers that are trying it out. We need to see if it's real and if it's going to work, because it's in everyone's best interest. Like, it would be a win-win for both sides. So yeah, we just got to give people a chance. Like,
yeah, like that's part of part of the human experience, is trying and failing. So like, or like trying something and maybe it doesn't work out. Like, that's That's literally what you're put on this earth for, is to try things, to figure out what works and what doesn't.
No, seriously. But all right. But yeah, okay, enough about that. It's so depressing, this Shein campaign, especially for me. I'm an advertising major, and it just comes off as like, first thing you go into the conference room for the marketing board meeting, and they're like, all right, people are saying we have bad working conditions. Oh my God, let's set up a fake warehouse and have employees and bring in cameras and pay people to say we're actually super ethical. But yeah, Denisha Carter on TikTok has a really good video about this whole situation, like how they could have had actual journalists and how they could have had like all this other stuff. So yeah, if you want to watch that, if you're confused as to why the Shein influencer trip was a bad thing, or if it was actually really funny, like I think it was, I'll tag that in the description. But before we wrap up this whole Shein thing, any other comments you want to make about EvoluSHEIN or their rebranding initiatives? How you're navigating the whole sell your soul, the moral dilemma?
I am happy to report I still have my soul.
Yeah, and more. Do aliens have souls?
Yeah.
Actually, they probably don't.
It's kind of like fuck around and find out type thing. No. I don't really have any other comments. I said like my personal experience. So that's all I can speak on, because I mean, it's social media, so what's actually true and what's not is really hard to like navigate through sometimes.
Definitely. Yeah, especially in business and all that. But I mean, I think you said some good things. I don't think you said anything for what we could have said about Shein. I think we kept it very nice. Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, like, I'm just here to see upcycling become mainstream. I think it's amazing people are doing. I don't want anyone to get taken advantage of. It's not small business. So I just want to see, I hope that it's all true, and I hope that this EvoluSHEIN becomes a big hit, and that I wake up one day and Shein is literally up Shein or something like that.
Yeah. It's now called upSHEIN. It has to be.
Like, that's the mind fuck I'm praying for. But well, let's not overshadow your other collaborator. You have two collaborations. You have one with Shein, you sell at festivals, like you said, but you also have a collaboration with Harper from Curly Girl Fashion. Tell us about Harper.
That's my daughter. She just loves crafting like I do. And she wanted to learn how to sew. So I've been teaching her how to sew, and then we'll go thrifting. And she has a couple items in my shop, but it was her idea to make that kimono and to make that rainbow outfit.
Get out of here. Tell her I need a fuzzy rainbow skirt in my size. That is not my size.
Oh yeah, the fuzzy rainbow skirt. I'll have to tell her. But so I decided to call it Curly Girl Fashion, and she just goes thrifting with me, and then she'll have like ideas. My kids give me a lot of ideas, believe it or not. And I told her, why don't we create your own line? And then whatever we make from there is 100% hers.
Wow. So, I think upcycling could be a really fun space for kids. We should have you on and talk about that another time. No, we should have Harper on. Sorry, Alexandra. Just Harper.
No, we should do like a short, like little clip of her. She's a little shy. She's not as social as me, but
yeah, no, please tell Harper I say hi. She's super cool. I need that rainbow skirt. Well, it was super insightful talking to you, Alexandra. I mean, thanks for letting me pick your brains on the Shein collab and talking about festival wear. It's festival season. Everyone should be happy and smiling and dancing and just bopping.
And supporting small businesses always.
Always bop to the small biz. Ooh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, especially with the Shein stuff, it's a huge hot topic, very confusing, but it's been great to hear from you, someone who's like really designing and selling for them. You can be like my little spy during EvoluSHEIN all the time. What are they doing? What are they making you do?
Yeah.
No, I
I
mean,
won't
fingers
fake
crossed.
it. I promise. It's
Yeah,
100% real over here.
it's so real. I just love it. I love it. My team celebration. Um, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Rave name update. What is it?
Yes, I thought of it.
Oh, you really?
I want, because I feel like your color for like your personality is like a red and maroon. So I
Oh,
was
thank you.
thinking like ruby, because it also, but with an I because of rubbish. So RUBI.
Wait, that's so cute. I love it.
Yeah.
And
I
my
thought it
last
was
guess
really
is
fitting.
Ruby. Wait, I like that. Ruby with an I.
Yeah.
I like that. I love 4-letter names. This is perfect. Lexi, Ruby.
Yeah. And it's like very like maroon and red and like, yeah, now you need a ruby hat.
No, I think let's make it happen, Alexandria.
I got you.
Thanks,
I'll make
girl.
you something.
I won't buy it on Shein. I'll buy it individually.